ருசிக பரலோக சுவையின்ப இயேசுவே என் வாழ்வின் திவ்யமிர்தமே. இன்னும் இன்னும் வேண்டும் என்று கெஞ்சுதே உள்ளமே, உன் நினைவால் என் இதயம் ஏங்குதே. வல்லாய்.
A very good evening to all of you. We welcome all the viewers and subscribers of Milky TV and especially viewers of Pen, Mic and Swords to this book review program. So thank you, dear viewers, for joining with us. And it is really, really very important that we know to read books and we keep on reading books. And that is something which is missing in today's world. Sometimes it does happen that we often buy books, we go to a book exhibition or we go to whenever there is a sale on books, we do buy it and keep it on shelf and just forget about it. So let's not be like that. So if you have buy some books, we should definitely read it to know what the author wants to say, because book is the single asset where when the author talks, he is the silent counselor to us. He won't condemn us. Whatever he says, sometimes it touches us. We also realize, yes, I am not doing correct in this way. I should rectify myself. So it is the silent counselor. So book are the greatest friends which we could have, because it cannot gossip, it will not slander, it will just point out what we are doing. So dear friends, let us start reading books and inculcate the habit of book reading routinely. So if you're not able to read a book every day, at least once a week, whenever you get the time. Mostly Saturdays and Sundays, most of the people are free, so we can devote time to book reading on that day. So our book review program, we are doing review of different kinds of book. We are doing spiritual books, we are doing theological book, and we should also go for secular books, because we are still living in this world. It's not that we should only go for spiritual books and we should not read any secular books, because the secular knowledge is also very, very, very necessary for us. So today, without much delay, I would like to give the podium to Brother Chiradeep Patra. We all know Brother Chiradeep is an author of almost 5 to 6 books, and brother is going to present to us today. He's involved in many ministries and is also a digital content creator, and is a good counselor. So this review would be quite interesting, I think. And the title of the book goes like this: Life is Tremendous. Do you want to be happy, productive, healthy and secure? Enthusiasm makes the difference, by Charlie Tremendous Jones. So we all want to be happy. But can everyone say that I am happy always? No, we cannot say that. So are we productive? Yes, we might be productive in whatever we are doing. We might be productive in our ministry, we might be productive in our job. So enthusiasm is very necessary. I think that's the perspective the author wants to say. So when brother review this book for us, we will get to know more about what this book is all about. And after hearing the review of this book, let's have a perspective change. So hoping for that. And we have as panelists Sister Sangeetha James, and 2 more guys are going to join us. Sam, Siddharthan and Brother Joseph Yesudian would be joining us. So without much delay, I would like to turn the podium to Brother Chiradeep to give his review. Brother, please.
Thank you so much, Sister Jemima, for giving me this opportunity. And I am really thrilled to review this book, because during our family prayer, we use the Odia devotional, which is a translation of daily manna. Okay, like our daily bread, this is also daily manna. And in the family we study from the Odia version of daily manna. So in that there was a quotation of Charlie T. Jones. So that quotation was so powerful. I went on to search Charlie T. Jones. Okay, and do you know what does this T stands for? Tremendous. There is no name. So people call him tremendous. Why? So I went on to do little research on about him, about the author. People called Charlie tremendous because he called everyone else tremendous. If asked how he got the moniker, he had blamed it on a limited vocabulary. When someone told him they were having a child, he would say tremendous. When someone got a promotion, tremendous. When someone got married, succeeded at something, met a great mentor, all tremendous. And pretty soon, everyone realized Charlie was tremendous. For over 50 years, Charlie T. Jones had a simple yet powerful mission to improve, help people improve their lives through reading. As Sister Jemima was giving stress on reading books. This guy, the author who died in 2008, sadly, uh, he he is giving stress on reading. And at the end of the this book, I will let you know what is the interesting fact about reading, how he made his son uh, reading the books he used to send to him. So Charlie entered the world of business in the insurance industry. He was an insurance policy seller. Not a very, not a very great job. Okay, but he became great. How? At the age of just 22 years, he entered the business. By age 23, he was awarded his agency's most valuable associate award. Okay, after 1 year, probation period is over. We think then the job will be permanent. That is what we have the system in Indian context. But within an year, he was awarded one of the company's prestigious award he was awarded with. He dismissed this by saying it was only because everyone else gave up and quit. Okay, he was so humble. He said everyone gave up and quit, so I got this award. Then turned it into a lesson on commitment. 10 years later, he received his company's highest management award for recruiting, manpower and development, and business management. In 1985, Charlie was awarded the President's Award by the Harrisburg Association of Life Underwriters, and in 2004, he was recognized with the Registered Financial Consultant RFC designation. In 1965, he founded Life Management Services to share his experience through seminars and consulting services. He is the author and editor of several books, including Life is Tremendous, of which more than 20 lakh copies have been printed in 12 languages. Can you believe it? It's a bestseller, no doubt. 20 lakhs copies of this book has been printed in 12 languages. 12 languages. Okay, I am trying hard to translate one of my book into my own mother tongue, Odia, but that's also difficult. So he was that famous. The book was awarded the Platinum Book Award on April 25th, 1993 for 11 lakh 1283 copies. 11 lakh copies by the Evangelical Christian Publisher. To date, the book has never gone out of print. Till now, the book was not gone out of print. So let's read this book. Let me review this book. It starts with a simple quote: "Life is tremendous." It really is. Okay, the author says it really is. Life is tremendous. It really is. You can be happy, involved, relevant, productive, healthy, secure in the midst of a high pressure, commercialized, automated, pill prone society. It is not easy nor automatic, but it's possible through the development of certain personalities, qualities which make up the traits of leadership. And you can be a leader because leaders are made, not born. Are you ready for leadership? Let's go. The first chapter It's not a chapter, it's just a preface. He says, I guarantee. What does he guarantee? Because he is from insurance company, he worked in an insurance company, so every time policy and guarantee, all these things are very he's very familiar with that word. He says, I guarantee. What is the guarantee? He guarantees that the reading of these pages will be one of the most profitable things you have ever done. Yeah, it is truly profitable. After reading it, I can say that it is really profitable. How can I make such a guarantee? The author questions. In the past 12 months, I have shared these ideas with companies that together have exceeded $20 billion in sales. Okay. Companies have earned $20 billion in sales by following his tips of leadership. Many of these leading salesmen and executives have returned with their families to sit through the same 3 hour lecture several times in a 12-month period. He used to give lectures and they used to sit several times. They used to come back to listen to Charlie Jones. That was the aura of this man. Okay. And then he goes on. The end of this particular chapter, I guarantee, he says, my number one objective is to stir up your thought processes and help you frame your best thoughts with words so you can harness and use them. Okay, he's not saying I am going to help you. He said, I am going to help you think, stir your thinking so that you can think and do things differently. Okay, the first chapter comes. The title of this first chapter is Leadership is Learning to Live. Okay, leadership is learning to live, or triple L, like LLL. Leadership is learning to live. He says the saddest time is when a person thinks that he has learned enough. We always think, I have learned so much. But that's the end of the person is dead. That is why I always I don't want to uh, demean a group of people and praise another group, but I have seen it in my life. Generally, I have seen South Indians uh, are those people who keep learning. Because education is given importance in South India than the northern part. Okay, that is why they are richer than northern, apart from a few business men. Okay, very few. Maximum poverty is there on the north side. Okay, so education enlightens. That this fellow says the saddest time is when a person thinks that he has learned enough. That is the saddest thing. He says we never stop growing until we stop learning. We will keep growing if we keep learning. And people who are learning this simple truth will grow old but never get old. This is very nice. I mean, the quotations are so powerful. So he says he encourages us to grow old, not to get old. Getting old is a period, full stop. Okay, I am old now. But growing old is I am still growing old. I'm wiser, getting wiser and wiser. Then he says, you need not learn all the methods and techniques of living, but you must be a real student of learning to live. If you are if you are to lead dynamically, because leadership is nothing more than really living. Okay, leadership is not something out of the world. It is living. You have to live as a leader. Then he says, anyone who is not leading others in life is not really living. He put puts it little ulta, like upside down. He's not talking about leader. He's saying anyone who is not leading others in life, like if Sister Jemima is not leading anyone in her life, then he's not living. He's not, the author is not saying that he's not a leader, she's not a leader. He's saying she's not living at all. So leadership is living. Whether you realize it or not, other people lead you in every area of your life. Some other person leads you in some aspect, for good or ill, for good or bad. And with every passing moment, your own leadership responsibilities are increasing. The person who recognizes this will never be bored. But the person who forgets or ignores, it will be dead long before his funeral. Then he says, learning to live begins with developing positive attitudes and your inner vision. He says, first, you must be learning to say something positive to everybody all the time. Okay. You have to say something positive. Then he says, second is, how a leader should live. Okay. Leading is living. So he's telling, first step is saying something positive to everyone. Then see something positive in everything that happens. We have a tendency to see the negative in others, but he says see the positive in everything, not everyone, everyone and everything. Okay. Then he says, third, you must be learning to see it big and keep it simple. Don't showcase, make it simple, but see it big. Okay. Then he says something which really blown my mind. He says, why, not how. He says, did you ever notice the number of people who spend their time learning how to do it, and after they learn, they accomplish very little before they are looking for a new how to do it. He's saying, instead of knowing how to do it, know why to do it. What is my purpose behind doing it? That will drive you. He says the key is not how to live, but why you are living. This stimulus will keep you growing. Okay. This is something very, very different. Very different. We always read how to do books. DIY. Do it yourself. But why to do it yourself? Kyun? Why we are doing that? Whatever we are doing, why we are doing? That reason actually make you grow in life and make you a leader. Then in the second chapter, he mentions 7 laws of leadership. Again, blown away. He says first law is learning to get excited about your work. Whatever work you are saying. So somebody asked him, do you like your job? Not at all. I don't like my job, but I am excited about my job. That was his answer. I don't like my job. I don't know what kind of job I do, but I am excited about my job, how I should do it. I'm not looking for another job, because if I look for another job, I'll be feeling the same way if I'm not excited about the other job also. Okay. I will keep hopping from here and there. So leadership tells me to get excited about the miserable job I have right now. Leadership tells me to get excited about the miserable job I have right now. That's wonderful. Okay. Then the second law of leadership is, first law is to get excited about your work. Second law is use or lose. This I do it because if you both remember, on the backside of my books, I have written I like that Bible verse in Proverbs. whatever your hand finds it, do it with all your might. And this is what Charity Jones says. And felt very happy seeing this. God gives everyone certain attributes, characteristics, talents. And then he says, if you use what you have, I will increase it. But if you don't use it, you will lose it. Use it or lose it. It's a law. Yeah, yeah. About those talents, 5 talents, 10 talents, and 1 talent. We understand that biblically it is correct. Okay. Then the third law, production to perfection. People sit and think, when I will be perfect, I will publish a book. When I will be perfect, my English is perfect, I will go for it. But Charity Jones says, and I agree with him because I also follow that path. He says, he gives an example. He says, I believe in doing things right. In fact, one of my frequent prayers, the cry of my heart is, oh God, let me do one thing right before I die. Not perfect. He's not saying perfect. He's saying, let me do one thing right before I die. Instead of waiting for when I will be perfected, I will do something. But I add, in the meantime, Lord, acha, okay. The prayer is like this: oh God, let me do one thing right before I die. One thing. But I add, in the meantime, Lord, help me do something. I should not wait for that one right thing till the end and doing nothing. I keep praying, God, please help me to do one right thing, one perfect thing, and keep praying all my life doing nothing. No. He's saying, while I am praying this, in the meantime, Lord, help me to do something. So, the law is production to perfection. It's not waiting for perfection to do production. He's saying production, produce, start producing first to be perfected. Okay, start producing. Then the fourth law is give to get. Oh, that's very good Christian principle. Giving. We need to give. He says, I really believe the law. Someone says, my granddad taught me that, and my wife, she says that. Yeah. As a Christian, we all know that giving is a must. If we don't give, we won't get. Okay. The fifth law of leadership is exposure to experience. It is again that like that production to perfection. Okay. It's the same. So unless we expose ourselves, we won't gain any experience. We have to get exposure. We have to get exposure. In the beginning of life, God gives everyone, listen to this. This is a beautiful passage. In the beginning of life, God gives every person a psychological keyring. And he gives a law that says, every time you expose yourself to another situation, I will give you another key of experience for your keyring. Beautiful. Then in the same thing, he says, getting old means you are drifting, not growing. And that means getting shallow and cynical and thankless. But if you grow old, you are getting deeper, richer, and fuller. That's the law of exposure to experience teaches us. Then the sixth law says flexible planning. Make flexible planning, he says. Don't be static. Don't be so, what do you call, arrogant on your plans. Be flexible. Because he's a insurance insurance guy, so he knows the meaning of contingencies. So he understands it very well. So he was very good with his profession. That is why he says it's a miserable job, but I excited about. That is why he could take out. Now I can relate. I did not think of that. Now I'm relating it. Okay. We need to be learning flexible planning. The mark of a man who is growing in his understanding that things go wrong to make us more right. God never breaks a man down with problems except to build him up. Okay. So, flexible planning is the sixth law. Then the seventh and last law is motivated to motivating. Okay, flexible planning, the end part I just wanted to mention. Flexible planning says to have a plan that enables you to roll with the punches. You know, life gives us punches. So we have to roll. If we keep our plans flexible, we can keep rolling to adapt and to adjust. Be learning to capitalize on things that go wrong. Okay, then don't take them as obstacles, take them as steps, making them stepping stones of progress that makes the wrong things right. An exchange that anyone should appreciate. I mean, exchange of wrong things for right. Okay. Then the last law is seventh law is motivated to motivating. He says, but look closely at these motivators. He talks about many motivators, okay, and motivation speakers. He says, but look closely at these motivators. Some reach the point where they can motivate anybody into doing anything, and success is running out their ears. Yet they are miserable because they forgot to learn how to motivate themselves. So it is necessary to be motivated to motivating. Okay. If you are not happy, then that will reflect definitely while you are trying to motivate. Which would you rather be, a miserable successful motivator or a happy motivated flop? The author says, I would rather be a happy motivated flop, but I want to be motivated and happy. If I am learning to be motivated, I will eventually become a successful motivator of others and be happy doing it. You know, positivity breeds positivity, so as negativity. Negativity breeds negativity. If we are not motivated, we cannot motivate others. Simple thing. Okay. Then he ends this chapter. In the last chapter, and that is the third chapter, three decisions are not the third, and not the last chapter, but fourth chapter is the last one. The third chapter is three decisions in life. What are those three decisions? Number one decision is, whom are you going to live your life with? You will have only one spouse, whoever it is, however it is. Make amend. God, make God your boss of the family, and live with it. And then he gives example of his marriage, and then he says at the end, listen, the secret of a happy marriage is not compatibility. That is something new I learned. It is not compatibility, it is integrity. The integrity of the two people to make the marriage decision, make it truly theirs and die by it. When my wife married me, it was for better or worse. Mostly worse. In the bracket, he says. Richer or poorer. Again, in the bracket, he says mostly poorer. Till death do us apart. In the bracket, he says that settles that. That settles that. Death will settle everything. And then he says, after he finishes with this one, um, the decision, whom are you going to live your life with. Then the second decision is, what are you going to live your life in. Little complicated. What are you going to live your life in? Some people say a person misses success because he doesn't have sufficient aptitude. This is again an eye opener. Actually, aptitude has little to do with success. Aptitude test is very common in banking sector and other sectors, entrance exams. But he says this is not success. Success ka key nahi hai. The success of a person in business or any other endeavor is never determined by aptitude, by the boss, or by friends. Success is achieved through making a decision, making it yours, and dying by it. Okay. Then, then he says, many people will miss the privilege of growing up and growing old on a great team because they missed on this great decision. A job is like a marriage. You can quote several favorites, but until you settle down with one, you will miss real success in a career or a marriage. Because you won't be able to know what success is unless you settle down with one. Job hoppers. Is that called success? Because the world teaches us, if this job doesn't pay you, I mean, it is success is payment based and salary based. No, it is not. It is not. You must commit your life to a partner or career in order to grow and glow. The key to vocational success is not proper training, aptitude, or pull with the boss, but making the job decision, making it yours, dying by it. Then last thing is, what are you going to live your life for? What are you going to live your life for? The third big decision is, what are you going to live your life for? There are only two things to live your life for. What is that? I won't spend much time on the first because we are all authorities on it. The first thing that we live our lives for is the big I, me, mine. Hey, world, look at me. Am I not terrific? I am a self made man. Good. That relieves God of the responsibility. He jokingly says, good. That relieves God of the responsibility. We can't fool each other. We all recognize the guy who makes the sun rise and set on his wonderful pinhead. That's God. That guy is. Yes, I can live my life for me, or I can live it for God. Oh, we don't talk about religion, he says, he adds, because it's a secular book. Someone says that causes controversy. Yes, that's true. But sometimes controversy sheds new light, he says. Wonderful. Then, then he shares his testimony, how he wasn't a believer, and how a preacher, a person, a godly person who literally pursued him and asked him, "Men, you are not ready to live your life until you know what you want written on your tombstone." I thought, I will need a big monument. No, he wasn't talking about the monument. He meant simply, what are you living your life for? I mean, what legacy you are going to leave behind? Then he shares his testimony, okay, and how he believed God, and how he decided that I am going to live for this guy, God. And then finally he said, all right, Charlie, I am going to leave. But you remember this, if the Bible is wrong, okay, the preacher gave him the final uh, uh, like final statement. He says, okay, Charlie, I'm going to leave now, but just remember this. All right, Charlie, I'm going to leave, but you remember this. If the Bible is wrong and you are right, the Christians have nothing to lose. But if the Bible is right and you are wrong, you have everything to lose. And Charlie changed. Later on, he changed. Then the last chapter focuses about, if you read the testimony in the third chapter, it's wonderful. Okay, the third decision he took, that he gave his life to God and he wanted to live. Is it too late? Okay. Leaders are readers. Lastly, what Sister Jemima encouraged us every time we meet here. Leaders are readers. So he says his son was, his name is Jerry or Jeremy, something like that. He calls Jere. Jerry, you in 2 years you are going to want me to help you buy a car. He says he throws an offer, buy a car, and I want to help you, but I am not going to give you the money. Here is my proposal. I am going to pay you $10 for every book you read. I will give you a book and $10. If you read and report to me, I will give you $10. I am going to pay you $10 for every book you read. I will pick the book, you give me a written report, and I will put 10 rupees in a car fund. So if you read in style, you will drive in style. But if you read like a bum, you will drive like a bum. Overnight, he developed Jerry, overnight, he was very uninterested. He doesn't want to read at all. He doesn't want to listen to his dad. But after this offer, overnight, he developed a tremendous hunger for reading. A tremendous is his favorite word. So he says he developed a tremendous hunger to read. And then each report was listed. Dad, did this. The first book he read, and he reported, dear dad, your faith isn't relevant. Son is saying, I don't believe in your God. Goodbye. Can you imagine? This is Western world. This is not India. Okay, they can say honestly. We are very hypocritical. What dad will think, let me say good things. But they're very honest. Dear dad, your faith isn't relevant. I don't believe in your God. Goodbye. Then he goes on giving each book, and he keeps on reporting, and $10 Charlie puts in the daddy puts $10 in the fund. And at the end, he writes, Dad, the mind of God is so unbelievable. He throws nothing but paradoxes at us. He makes us completely and utterly helpless and depraved, and then takes that failure which normally knocks us out and makes it our greatest asset. This guy who said, Dad, I don't believe in your God, goodbye, this guy acknowledges God, as Charlie also acknowledged. Then the writer concludes, now you know why I believe in the power of books. Okay, then he has a power pack. Power pack has 13 potent books. Okay, in that set, power pack, it is called power pack, and 13 books is included. I will send you a link. There are many books, and one of the book is, I have read this book by John Edmund Haggai, How to Win Over Worry. This is one of the book. Then there are many books he has mentioned, which we can read. And this book is only 125 rupees. This small book is only 125 rupees. Buy it right now. Buy it right now. The moment I I mean, after the family prayer, I immediately searched about this guy and bought this book. 2 days after, 3 days after, I got this book, and immediately I sent it to Sister Jemima that I am going to review this one. Thank you so much for listening to me so patiently. Now it's over to Sister Jemima and Sister Sangeetha and our dear Joseph.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. It was such a lively presentation. We could see that you enjoyed reading this book, and more than that, you enjoyed reviewing this book. So it was really a tremendous review, I could say. So after hearing his content of this book, his perspective is so different from us. We take things in a very different manner, and his view of everything about the world, about God, everything is so different. So in a present, what could I say, in a global corporate world, people believe that success is for those who don't stick to a particular job. They should keep jumping once in 2 years. And here he says that if you want success, you have to stay in one place, just like we have to stay with our one life partner throughout our life. That was a really, he makes us to laugh, but at the same time, there is truth in whatever he is saying. And another thing which I totally agree is, any person who says that I've learned enough, that much, it's I know everything, that person is finished at that time only. And we have seen so many leaders, spiritual leaders, in fact, they say that I know everything, I've learned everything, and that would be the stop of them. So we keep on learning till we die. We learn something or other. We learn from everyone around us. We can learn from our kids, we can learn from our life partner, we can learn from our neighbors, we can learn even from our enemies, those who hate us. So
From
learning
our
is
children also, from a little child also.
yes, yes, it's a very tedious process. Just today, my daughter was saying there was a joke going on around in my home. So now my husband has started a new thing. What is whenever I do cooking and it's not tastier, or if I put some salt or other, he will come and say, "Oh no, today the food was so tasty." He will smile and say, and if he says like that, I know that something is wrong. And today also he told like that. So I thought that something was wrong, but actually today was nice. So my daughter was telling, "See, dad is trying to mislead you. I am the only person. If it's not good, she will say, 'Mummy, it's not good,' and she'll just leave her lunchbox at home and she'll take snacks and go." So we can learn even from kids. They are so open-minded. They will speak their heart out. So often as adults we think that, "Oh, I know everything. I'm a parent. Only I should teach my child." We cannot listen anything from a child. Not like that. We can learn from everyone. So really, I enjoyed this review very much. So thanks to Chiradeep, brother, for such a jovial, very nice presentation of the book. And we have Sister Sangeetha James and Joseph. And I think both of them are, Sangeetha's sister is from a educational field, and Joseph is in a corporate field. So that perspective, let us see how, whether it is different or whether they agree to it. So let us see. So over to Sangeetha Akka. Akka, please, your feedback, please.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk in this show. As we know that Chiradeep Patra sir gives very nice presentation every time. His presentation is always good. In this book, many good things has been written. Like many things. The first thing what he said about that, it is like, if anyone is not leading, then after leadership is living. So if you want, in our life, we have to we have to play the leadership goals. So, and then secondly, what he said about is the last thing which he said about the father and son, that what he is the son used to do, his father, to make him the reading habit, always he used to tell that, "I'm going to give you a certain amount of money." By giving amount of money, he has developed the reading skills of his son. So this we can, even for our own kids, we can do like this, once they grown up. So that I liked it. And then after that, about the secret of marriages, that he said, author has written, it is not about compatibility, but it is integrity, and that is true. And then after that, he has said about secret. Then after that, what we are going to live for. Okay, that so then after that he tells about the focuses about readers and leaders. So that reading has to be developed. So exposure to experience, we have to get the exposure. Then after that, flexible planning, okay, then enables you to roll with the punches. So many good things has been written in this book. So I think we have to go for this book. And this book will give a new perspective. And we will gain many things from this. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. Thank you so much. Yes, you're right. This book will change our perspective, how we look at things, how we look at the world. So I like the catchy phrase which Chiradeep brothers, those who are not leading are not living. Oh my God, what a statement! It feels like a punch in the face for those who are just living a very stagnant life. So very nice. This person is also seems like a jovial person, a very straightforward person, a person who reach people's heart. And that's why brother told within 1 year he could get the prestigious award. He was such a great leader, and his books, I think brother told that 20 lakh copies, it's not a small feat. And nowadays we are trying to write a book and we are trying to sell it. It's a huge market, and to make a book such a bestseller, it should connect to the heart of the people. And it's not like that very lengthy content. It gives a phrasy word, and through that it connects to the people's heart. So now we have Joseph.
Like,
Joseph, I
before
think
Joseph says, yeah,
yes,
20
brother.
lakh 20 lakh copies in 12 languages.
12, 20 lakh means in each language 20 lakh copies sold. You are
It's
combined.
not mentioned in, it's not mentioned like that. 20 lakh copies in 12 languages, it says. Yeah.
Being translated in 12 languages is also a very great thing. So now we have Joseph. Let's hear Joseph's feedback. So Joseph, I think he came running from office. So I made a message. He told Akka, I'm on the way. I will be joining. So I don't know how much of the review he was able to listen, but whatever is, I'm sure that even his feedback would be very useful for us today's episode. Joseph, please.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you, Jemima, for this opportunity, and thank you, Chiradeep Patra sir, for presenting this book. Actually, I was running late. I took some time to join, but parallelly, what I did was I connected through YouTube. So I was listening there while I was there on the way till the point of time I reached the home. So yeah, I have not heard the name of this person, but thanks for introducing Charlie Jones through this book. As you said, the things that you have spoken and the quotes that we see, and probably the number of copies that he has sold, is a clear indication that that person has understood the depth of leadership. And I think that is very much visible through his quotes, very much visible through the way that he communicates, and the impact that he has created in the society. And definitely, when you made that statement, even I was listening and then thinking through, when it is said that leading, if you are not leading, means it's leading is he's equating leading to living a life, and failing to do that is as good as not living. So that itself indicates the depth, or probably the understanding that he had about leadership, and probably the way he had connected leadership to every nuances and part of the life, that he says that if you don't have, then it means you are not even living your life. So I think a person of that stature, and probably of that knowledge, I mean of that knowledge, will only be able to make such statement. And apart from that, and I think a lot of quotes which he says, one good thing is it definitely comes out as an out of box, but it is somewhere connected and related, or say brought outside. Something is been rooted in scripture, is what we can say. He's not speaking, or he's not telling anyone to do, or he's not giving advice, he's not telling anything to for anyone to do or say follow outside the scripture. So instead of directly quoting the scripture, he's deriving certain principles out of it, and based on that, I think he has made certain declarations in those books. I think it has helped a lot amount of people. So that was interesting to hear. And then uh, so I was, while you said the while you were speaking about this book, I just typed Charlie Jones was, because for me it is the first time I'm hearing about this, right? I just click on internet. I was just checking. So I came just across this one interesting quote. This quote directly came into my eyes. It says, he says, many times when I was having hard time with one of my children, God would always remind me that he was having a harder time with me than I was with them. So this is the statement that he made. Very simple statement, but a very, I think it is very important to understand. It's like it becomes very easy for everyone to look into their negatives or the problematic areas of the life, but but everyone at some point of time fail to understand that even we are part of some or the other equation which is not perfect, and someone else is actually dealing with it, that is God. When I can be dealt, why this child can't be dealt? When I can be corrected, why this child cannot be corrected? So I think that perspective of putting in one simple line and then turning the tables upside down is someone like of this stature, or probably of this understanding, or probably of a person of this leadership skill can only do it. So yeah, so thank you, Chiradeep sir, for introducing this book. And one good thing is, when you were talking, obviously we could see how passionately you were talking about this thing, and then hearing about Sir Charlie Jones, about the, because the word tremendous seems to be very much associated with all his books and his life, where he himself, where if you put Charlie Jones, the only thing that comes in internet is Charlie Tremendous Jones. So that itself is a very clear example of his impact. So yeah, thank you for giving me this opportunity, and thank you for taking us through this beautiful character. Thank you.
On a lighter note, I would say Charlie and Chiradeep starts with C, so I'm very happy. Anyway, yeah.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you so much. The last phrase which you say as a parent, I was smiling like anything, because often every day on a routine basis, I think even Sister Sangeetha can connect with me. So when we tell kids to do certain things, they will just not do it. We have to repeat it even 10 to 100 times. They will still not do it. But how many times God expects something from us and we are not doing, and we don't even realize it? At least we make our kids to realize it. Sometimes God, through His Holy Spirit, He jabs us, and sometimes when we keep on ignoring, He will just leave. But then He will give a lash. He will give a lash somewhere, and then bring us back. So what I learned from this book is, when we see the negativity of some other person, let's not, what I should say, zoom it out, and let us see that even we have flaws, and we should try to understand. And this thing, when my husband, you often used to say that in ministry, chalega na, leave it na. So people would be like that only. So always, I am always saying, why are you like this? Why you take everything very light-heartedly? But after hearing this book review, I think there are a lot of things I need to learn. So it was a great book.
The best part of this book is the way he has presented it. It's very easy to learn. Is very easy to follow. It's not like leadership. I mean, leadership. I thought, what leadership book? I don't like leadership books. It's all vocabs are so high, and all jargons. Like, I don't want to read all those things. But this book is so beautiful. I mean, you will simply enjoy it. It's like such a humorous book.
Yes.
You will smile and you will cry. I mean, somewhere it is written. You will, okay, this guy has written, sorry, somebody has reviewed it. Life is Tremendous is a classic. Its powerful message, seasoned with tears and laughter, will continue to change lives for the better, long after this troubled century is only a memory. So that's OG Mandino, somebody, one of the great. reviewed. Sorry.
No problem, no problem. So today the presentation was really lively. And the way he has written the book, he makes the reader to laugh also, but at the same time realize what he is doing and to come back to the track. And there are very few authors who can do such a thing. Often when we take a book and read it, and if some perspective is not according to our wish, we just keep the book down and go away, and will never even look at the book. But this single book, I think, even though it is very lively, it is comedy, and it touches our heart, it makes us to what more he has written, what more we can learn from this person. So brother told that he passed away at 2006, right brother?
8.
2008. Okay. So I think there might be many books written by this person. So let us try for each and every book. So we will get to know more about this. So today our review was really very nice. So thanks to Brother Chiradeep. In spite of his busy schedule, brother took the time to read this book and review for us in our platform. And thank you to Sister Sangeetha James and Brother Joseph for taking time from your busy schedule to be part of our program today. So, dear viewers, stay connected with us. So, I think we all have learned something or other from this book today. So, let our perspective change. Let our perspective towards the world, towards the people, towards the way how we live our life. Let it change and let it be a new beginning for everyone. So, next week, same day, same time, we will come with another new book with another new person. Till then, goodbye, good night. God bless you. Have a nice day. Bye. Thank you. Bye. Take care. Bye. Bye, Joseph. Bye, Sangeetaka.